Hello and welcome to Student Blog in this series of Terraform training sessions. This is a part 2 video and we'll be looking at Terraform core concepts in this video. This is very important to understand core components because most of the Terraform goes runs on these. So yeah, even though once you go through these videos, just go to Terraform site and try to understand the core concepts and also try to understand the syntax all stuff. So below are the Terraform core concepts. These are the whatever you listed here. These are the we are these are the components which we will be using in upcoming training sessions. So first one is variables, second one is provider, so module, state, Terraform state, resources, data sources, plan, and apply. So so most of the time, like when you write a code, so we need to go through a couple of declarations, all stuff. So let's see what is variables. Like people who are developers, they know very much about it. So what are variables? Variables are placeholders for values that can be used to make configurations more dynamic and reusable. They allows users to define and manage reusable values in their Terraform configurations without altering the source code of modules or resources. This makes it easier to adapt to changes, maintain consistency across different environments, and update and maintain configurations. So I just put an screenshot like how we are going to declare a variable, all stuff. For example, in upcoming videos, we'll be working on practical sessions where if you do a if you write a code without variables, how it look like, and what are the disadvantages if you don't go for variables. For example, you're writing a code and you need to put an username, password, or you need to put an yeah, like a region. You need to declare a region in that if you hard code the region, you can use it for particular region only. So to overcome that, what we'll do is we will create a variables .tf file, and whatever the like a declaration we do in main file, we'll declare the variables here, so that when we execute the when you initiate a Terraform and when you run the Terraform, so it will take the variables from this file, and same code can be used for multiple environments, and you can use it to, you can give the same code to anyone where they can use it on their environment. Simply they need to change the variables in the variable file. So for example, if you see here, we have declared a variable for my access key. So this is for AWS. So when you need to connect to any AWS resource, in first step, like you need an access key and secret key. So we can hard code that access key and the secret key in the main code, but that is not at all recommended. So and that is the reason we can declare a variable here, and even if you share the code with somebody else, they can use this, and whenever they execute the code, then obviously it will ask for access key and security key, and they will enter it, and it will connect to the environment. So if you hard code it, then obviously your secret key and access key doesn't work for your friend. That's how it is. So even for a region, if you just change the region here, there is no need to modify entire code. Wherever you declare the variable, that will be updated when it try to when it take the variable from this particular file. So the variable declaration can optionally include three arguments as mentioned below: description, type, and default. This is what we are talking about. So we need to mention we need to declare the variable type, name, and type. With types we'll discuss about how many types of variables we have, then type of variables in upcoming videos, and description is for to understand what is that variable you are declaring for. So variables, as discussed, like how many types of variables we have, that we have string, we have number, ballooning, and other we do have some other mm, types like list, map, set, object. These are all yeah, so most of the time we will be using multiple, we will be using first two. So string is like you can provide the input anything, like please enter your access key. Like if you see here, this is string type. So whenever you executed it initially, the Terraform will ask for please enter the access key, please enter this, like anything. String is nothing but something you're asking for input. So and if it is a number, that like variable type number, you need to provide the number. And like a bool, like it is like asking for yes or no, or you want to proceed, yes or no. Then you obviously give yes or no, only two options. So so these are types of variables. We'll be using them, and we'll be discussing about them in future upcoming videos. So ballooning, like we discussed, as true or false, and number is like maybe it is a two-digit number or four-digit number with decimals. So this is about primitive types, which we have mentioned it here. So next comes Terraform provider. So maybe this is don't get confused, because once we start working, then you will come to know what is this all we are talking about. Okay. So provider is like provider is to connect to specific environment or specific vendor. So a Terraform provider is a plugin that allows Terraform to interact with other API services and platforms to manage external resources. Providers act as an intermediately it's an intermediary between Terraform and underlying infrastructure, allowing Terraform to interact with the resources. So if you use an Azure provider, then obviously Terraform will connect to the Azure environment. And if you're using an AWS provider, then it will connects to AWS. If you are using a cloud, Google Cloud, then it will connects to Google Cloud. So we need to mention the provider in our code, then only it will goes to like it. It's nothing but Terraform API, which connects you to the concern environment or concern third party provider. So this is an example, I just put it here. So when you write a code, we'll create a providers.tf file where we'll give the provider name here. So provider, and in braces, like in the code, so you'll be giving AWS. If it is Azure, then we'll give Azure. And if it is VMware, then we'll give vSphere. So and we'll mention the region, which region. So these are the variables mentioned here. Instead of mentioning the region here, we have just given a variable. So when we run it, what it does is it will check for this variable, and it will go to the variable file, and it will pick up the input from there. So same with the access key and secret key. So we'll do practical sessions before, but you must know understand what is provider, I believe. Before, if you don't know, now I believe you know what is provider and what are the variables. So next comes module. So module is like any set of Terraform configuration files in a folder is a module. So every Terraform configuration has at least one module known as its root module. So modules are two types. One is a local module and one is published module. So local module is nothing but the module which you wrote, which you write uh, when you are deploying your own code. So published modules are like they'll be available on Terraform registry. You need to go to Terraform site and registry. If you go to registry, it is nothing but someone who wrote a code and they publish on the registry of Terraform. So you need to go there and if you see tons of mm, modules available, simply you need to check and most of the time the whatever those are the trustable publishers modules. So whatever you see, like instead of you writing your own code spending hours together, you can just download that module and you can use it. So we'll be also doing that in upcoming videos. So we will use some others someone else modules and we'll build the environment. We'll do that. So next comes a Terraform state file. So when you run Terraform apply command to create an infrastructure on cloud, so Terraform creates a state file called terraform.tf state. So this state file contains full details of resources in our Terraform code. When you modify something on your code and apply it on the cloud, Terraform will look into the state file and compare the changes made in the code and that state file and the changes to the infrastructure based on the state files. So uh, so these all so in specific you won't like observe it, but when you initiate a init, so a state file is created. We'll see that. We'll open the file and see it. And one thing is we should not mess with these files. If you do changes to these files, then it will mess up your environment. So should be always careful. So next is resources. What is resources? So and in Terraform, resources are components of configurations that represent infrastructure objects or services that need to be managed. So they define the desired state of infrastructure elements like virtual machines, databases, and even network security groups. So these are all resources. So like whenever we create our Terraform files, we'll create a resource file where we give all required environment resources information. So next comes data sources. So data source performs a read-only operation. It allows data to be fetched or computed from resource entities that are not defined or managed by Terraform or the current Terraform configuration. So these are all abbreviations, honestly, but when you work on the environment, then you will come to know what all these. The, when we do it practically, we'll come to know. Next is plan. So it is one of the stage in the Terraform. As we discussed this before, also like whenever you want to when you want to build the infrastructure, before that we'll execute Terraform plan, and you will provide a file name, so that what happens is it will generate the plan and like make it ready for you, so that you can go to the plan, you can open the plan file and you can see it. So if you feel when the plan looks good, then you can apply the plan. So simply apply is the one, Terraform apply. So for all these plan and apply, like we'll be using Terraform plan and Terraform apply. So it is the final stage where we apply this to create the infrastructure or required environment. So these are the core components of Terraform, and yeah, obviously theory is somewhat feels painful, but you have to understand about each and every component, then only you can work on it in a better way. So That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe, and for any queries always reach out to me on vstudentblog at gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye.